Hey! Me again, if you hadn't already guessed. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. It's kind of like a book review type thing because I read a lot of books and I felt like it. I couldn't really think of anything else to do today. And yeah, there you go. Some books for you. So these are just some that I've read them all several times, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've read them all at least once, maybe twice. And I just think they're really good for summer or other, like, you know, they're quite easy books. Some of them are quite easy, some of them are a bit harder, but not in the sense that it's like a difficult plot. They're all quite simple plots, it's just some of them are more aggressive and violent than other ones. So let's start with the less aggressive one. This is a trilogy, as you can tell, because there are 3 books. The first one is called TTYL, then there's TTFN, and then later Gator. They're all backwards, I'm assuming. But these books are really funny. They're these 3 girls called Maddie, Angela, and Zoe, and they are just them going through like high school and everything. But the thing about these books is all 3 of them are written entirely in instant messaging form. The whole like story, all 3 books are written in instant messaging, which I think is really cool, and it must have been really hard to get the story across in instant messaging because you can't use some of the things that other people have, other like authors generally use. And they just kind of talk about normal stuff that happens in high school, and they're really funny, and because they're written in instant messaging, I think this is why I can read them all in like 3 hours, like all of them collectively in 3 hours. I read them so quickly. But yeah, they're good. And they're by Myracle. Next one, slightly less happy and funny and joyful, is this book. It is called Panic, and it's surprisingly long. I didn't really realise that until just now after holding those books. They were quite small. This is called Panic by Lauren Oliver, and Lauren Oliver wrote Before I Fall and the what's it called, Delirium trilogy, so she's pretty cool. And this book, it's kind of like Hunger Games, but it's not. I don't know how to describe it without giving anything away. It's people play this game called Panic, and they do all of these different challenges, but no one dies. Like it's not like Hunger Games where to win you have to kill everyone else. It's not that extreme, but it's still really exciting and it's really good. And it's got like 400, let me check. It's got 408 pages, and I read this in 2 days. Yeah, and I really like the cover. Doesn't really give anything away from the book, but I really like the cover. There you go. Another funny one is What If by Shari Low. Now, Shari Low is actually my cousin, and that is not the reason why I'm promoting this book. I just read it recently because my mum let me. It's slightly not good for younger readers. It's a bit graphic, not in violent ways, in the other way. But it's really funny, and it's funny to like people of my age. I'm 13 and I still find it funny. And you know, it's a good book. It's about a girl called Carly Cooper who goes to all of her ex-boyfriends to see if any of them are husband material. And it's really funny. I know I've said that like 3 times, but it's good, I promise. The next one is a bit of a classic. I really love this book, and I don't know why, but I always read it in summer. And that's Alice in Wonderland. And this is the Penguin Classic edition, which is why it's got a really weird cover. But it's got Alice and Through the Looking Glass in it, I think. Yeah, it does. It's got Alice and Through the Looking Glass in it, so it's Alice isn't this thick. But I really like this book. I think that I don't really read classics. I haven't read the Harry Potter series because a lot of books that I have read that have been really hyped up, like The Fault in Our Stars, I didn't really like because everyone said they were so good. And though The Fault in Our Stars was a good book, it wasn't as good as everyone made it out to be. So I'm frankly, I'm quite scared to read the Harry Potter books because I don't want them to be bad. I'm sure they aren't bad, I'm sure they're really good. You know, when something's built up and then it's not quite as good as you expect it to be. So this is like one of the only classic books that I've read because, like I said, I don't like reading classics. Yeah, and it's really cute, and it's not. I guess it is quite violent because, you know, one of the very famous lines is off with her head, but I like it. It's about a 7-year-old girl. You know, you can't be really like that violent with a 7-year-old girl, can you? These two are two of my. They're a sequel. What do you call 2 books? It's like a sequel, but that's only what one. Anyway, there are 2 books. One of them is called When I Was Joe. One of them is called Almost True. And these books are fabulous. They are written by a woman, but the main character is a boy. And I always think that's really hard to do. All of my main characters, I write books, all of my main characters are females because I am a female and I go to an all-girls school, so I don't know, like, you know, I'm not that good at writing men, or boys in this case. But these cool, he's awesome, and it's about this boy called Tyler. I think his name's Tyler. I know it's Ty, but anyway, a guy called Ty, who is put into the witness protection program because he saw something that you find out, and it's him and his mum trying to hide from these people that want to kill him, which is obviously a very exciting thing that you want to read on your summer holidays, but it is really good. It's really well written, it's really exciting, and it's not like some books can be very full on, like violence after violence after violence, and you don't really get a break, but this one does in a really, really good way. The sequel is also good. It's obviously not as good as the first one. I never think sequels are as good as the first one, just because sequels can never really be as good as the first one in my head. It's just not. But it's still a good book. Like, if this one was alone, it would still be good. The last one I have for you is probably one of my favourite happy books. I don't read a lot of happy books. It probably looks like I do because I've got some in there, but they're literally the only happy books on my bookshelf. Because sometimes happy books are boring because nothing like happens. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is the guy breaks up with the girl and you know, it's boring. However, it's called Love, Lies and Lemon Pies, and it is basically about a girl who has a secret. It's not a dark secret, it's just a secret. After her father dies, and she joins bake club at her school, and then the head teacher also makes him join bake club, and it's them going through bake club. And I know that sounds really boring when I'm describing it because, again, it doesn't sound like nothing happens, but it actually is really good. I read it in like a day. Like, I need to stop saying like. One thing that I really like about this book is that actually, because it's about baking, it actually has a recipe in it, and it's got like a recipe for each chapter. Whenever they make, like, whatever they're making that week in Bake Club, they have a recipe on it. And I think that's really cool. I don't know why. It made me want to bake stuff. I'm pretty sure I made pancakes after I read this book. But, you know, that's it. So that is by Katy Cannon. I'm going to go back because I think I only said the author for like one of them. The When I Was Joe books are by Keren David. The Lewis Alice in Wonderland is also obviously by Lewis Carroll because it's Lewis Carroll. My cousin, Shari Low, they're all on the floor, so I have to pick them up again. And Lauren Oliver and Lauren Myracle are those ones. So yeah, that's kind of what I had for this video. That's kind of it. If you guys want me to do any more book reviews, or if you have any books that you want me to review, then please tell me them. I'm always looking for a new book because I've finished them quickly and I don't know what else to do with my life. So if you have any books that you want me to read, please comment them or tweet me. I'll put my Twitter in the description or around it somewhere, or go to my blog as well, which I will also put around here or in the description. And oh, I mentioned that I write books. I don't mean that I've like actually been published. I just write them like in my house. But if you want me to read any of those to you, then that would be really great, because I want people to, I want feedback on how to get better. So yeah, if you want me to read any, then let me know if you think that would be a good idea, and like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I will see you later. 5, 6, 7, 8.